Greetings, everybody. Welcome here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So for those of you who were looking for what's new last night and didn't see it, there's an absolutely perfect explanation for this, and I do apologize. So it was getting late towards 8 o'clock time. I had made the video. I just made it. I was getting ready to go out. I had to be somewhere at 8. And when I came back, I got everything ready to go out the door, and I decided, okay, time to upload. I went to upload. Guess what? I had erased the video and not known about it, so I didn't have time to do it. So I did my thing. I came home, and now I'm doing it now. So we're going to get it during the day today. Probably release it around 2. I have this week to do, which I'm going to do right after this episode. So I will do that first, upload that first. It'll come out at noon as normal. And then this video will come out at 2 o'clock, I think. Anyways, I do apologize for that. It wasn't intentional. I've done that actually a few times lately where I've discovered if you leave the video open and then close the top so that you're not using it, you end up losing the video. So I forget about that sometimes and still do it. So I'm going to try not to do it anymore. So what we're doing today is what we're doing right now is going to be an episode of What's New. I've decided to do North Sea Echoes. The album is Really Good, Terrible Things. This is a kind of replacement for the Sonus Umbra. I decided not to do the Sonus Umbra. Basically because I think it's a politically charged album, and I don't really want my site to become infected with that, so I decided not to bother. Not that there's anything wrong with the album. The guy has his opinion, and the music is great, but I just decided that I didn't really want to get into that because it doesn't have a place here, so I decided not to do it, and so we're going to do this album instead. Yeah. The problem with my tongue is it doesn't always obey my commands, right? Okay, so this album was released on the 23rd of February this year, and basically that's what we do. We are doing What's New is albums released in the 2024 period of time, like this year, and we talk about those albums. I tend to try to stick with progressive albums, but I do some metal and some hard rock, even a pop album or two. But basically I try to stick to the progressive metal or the progressive rock albums as much as possible. This one supposedly is a progressive metal album, but not really. I mean, in actuality it isn't, but you know, based on the people who are involved with it, many people probably would classify it as that because of that, but I don't see it that way. I see this as not being that at all. So the album was released on the Metal Blades Records. I don't know the length. I couldn't find the length anywhere, and I didn't have time last night to go through it all and figure out what the length should be. So we're just going to leave that blank for now. On the personnel side of it, we have Ray Alder, vocals, Tim Mattheos, guitar, bass, and keyboards, and Gunnar Olsen, drums, not Olstens, Olsen on drums. So most of you will know Mattheos and Alder as being members of Fate's Warning. That's their claim to fame right there. So they're doing an album here as North Sea Echoes, Really Good, Terrible Things. So it's got 10 tracks on it. The overall feel for the album is a soft album. It's a soft kind of, I wouldn't even call it a pop album. To me, pop albums have certain elements to them that make them poppy. Commercial sounding, tend to be upbeat, with strong kick beats of different types. And this doesn't really have any of that, so I don't really think of this as a pop album. This is more of basically a soft rock album. There is a term that they use to describe these albums of this nature. I haven't used it. I feel like it's not really a term I care for, so I'm not going to use it here. Anyways, 10 tracks. Overall feel is soft rock. It's melodic. There are a fair bit of acoustic guitar bits as well. Not dominated by that, but a fair bit. Some keyboard parts to it as well, quite a bit of that. There are some strong elements at times, but they're not very numerous on this album, maybe less than 10% of the time. So yeah, and most of the songs are pretty repetitive. They sound pretty much the same and are not terribly memorable. A couple tracks are a little better than others. Overall, it had no failing grades anywhere. I didn't find anything terrible about it or distasteful about it. Just not really probably my style of music. So we're going to do a little bit of a breakdown of the tracks on the album. So there are, I believe, 10. Yes. So the opening track is called Open Book. So it's like you're opening the book to the album, right? So it's kind of a soft and moody tune. The vocals are very emotional. The guitar is slow and a kind of a picking style, melodic. The next song, Flowers in Decay. This one is a little bit better of a song, I think. The vocals are clear, the production strong. A very emotional album, a little bit of a poppy feel to it, but not a great deal, more of a soft feel. Lots of percussion and keyboard dominated throughout this track. And it's another soft and slow melodic song. It does have that twin vocaling, which is clear, strong. This is a strong element for this album, and I wish they'd done more of it, to be honest with you. I think it would have improved the quality of the album. I quite like the twin vocaling, where they both are singing together. Sounds really absolutely good. This is a better song than the previous one. The next song up is Unmoved, an acoustic guitar sound. The vocals are deep but smooth and gentle and subdued, so another soft song. The fourth track on the album is called Throwing Stones, pretty much the same as the Unmoved song. Not a lot of difference, nothing really memorable about it. Just fits right in next to it very well. Then you've got Empty, which is another kind of not strong song, but a little bit heavier on the guitar here, a little bit of heavy riffed guitar parts. Not overly dominant, but definitely there. It's got a bit of a melodic sound. Some more vocals are slow and melodic, as all the songs up to this point have been. The next song is The Mission. This may be the best track on the album. It's much heavier, more up-tempo track, hard pop sound, some heavy bass parts on this as well. The vocals, once again, strong, clear, with a little bit more bite to them than you have on the previous 5 tracks. And so I gave this one the highest rank of any song on the album, which was a 6. Nobody got below a 5, nobody got above a 6. So pretty straight album right along at a 5-6 level. More 5 than 6 though. Next up, Where I'm From. This is a slow melodic soft rock element to it. Vocals are toned down but very clear. The album's production is excellent. The vocals are clear. All the noises are pristine. You can hear everything. Production is excellent. So there's no problem with that at all, which is good, because if it wasn't, it probably might get a failing grade. Next up, we move Around the Sun. The guitar intro is slow, melodic, but clear as a bell. Then you got vocals again, slow, melodic, and clear as well. Next track up, Touch the Sky. This one is more memorable for me because the title, my friend worked, he was a manager of a kite store in the Queen's Quay in Toronto back in the 80s called Touch the Sky. So as soon as I seen it, I flashed back to that. So a little bit of an emotional attachment to it. Some keyboard parts here. And this song is a little bit different than some of the others because that keyboard synthesizer sound that they use at the beginning gives it almost a psychedelic feel to it. It's wavy, giving that kind of a psychedelic feel to the song, which is the only other song on the album that has that at all. A little bit of an acoustic guitar bit also add to that background feeling of psychedelia. The vocals are clear, emotional. slow and melodic. Nothing special here, nothing fantastic. I did like this track because of the title and because of the psychedelic feel. Now, I don't want to give the impression this was a psychedelic song. It wasn't. It just had that hint of, reminded me of that psychedelic feel. So a little bit of psychedelia, I would say maybe a 10 to 20%, not dominating though. And the last track on the album, No Maps. This is the same as most of the most of the mainstream tracks on the album that all have that slow melodic vocal part, slow melodic, almost slow rock sound to them. This is another song like that. The only difference in this song, again, using that twin vocaling, which they, I believe, used maybe 2 or 3 times on the album. I thought it was great. It was the best part of the album, I think, and I just wish they'd done more of it. They're very good together, so that part is excellent from this album. So there you have it. This album, really good, terrible things. Kind of a strange title. I'm not really sure what they're getting at. There's nothing terrible here, and there's nothing really good here. It should have been very melodic, soft-sounding album. Maybe that might have been a better title. But again, if you like that kind of thing, then you'll love this album. This is a maybe easy listening to album if you want to just, if you're doing dishes around the house or you're cleaning and you just want something, or you're relaxing in your chair, just sitting there daydreaming, or maybe you're reading a book or something. Not a bad album for that, because it won't intrude on your thoughts too much. It'll give you kind of like elevator music, like kind of a background feel, but better than elevator music. So there, that's the album for today. North Sea Echoes, really good, terrible things. I hope you've enjoyed the presentation of this, kind of my feel about the album. You can have your own feel, and you can put that in the comment section if you want down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. And we'll be back next we'll be back next Saturday night with another episode of What's New. And this one, I'm going to guarantee will be on time. So have yourself a good one. Take care and goodbye.